are live, baby, live. Welcome to Pub Sports Radio, NCAA Net Profit. It is Monday, March 21st, and we are down to the Sweet 16. Max, how are you doing today, my guy? Already a couple good basketball games, one going on right now and one from earlier. Our Wilmington team beat Drake, Max. Like we talk about, second half team just came and win by one. Great job. Hit me with what's going on. Let's touch on yesterday a little bit. Let's talk just to those games because I know we're going to get into depth about those this week. Obviously, the Sweet 16 games. And then we'll touch on the last two games tonight. But how are you doing today? How was the weekend? What's going on?
I'm a terrible fucking tournament pregame bettor. That's pretty much what it is right now. I'm probably down about fucking $2,500 betting pregame. So I am fucking absolutely fucking livid. So I decided to help myself with a little bit of fucking liquid courage. And you know who didn't need liquid courage, Connor? The Miami fucking Hurricane, the U, baby. How they fucking bended Auburn over, forced them to look out the window at the cow fields, and fucking sodomized the fuck out of them. It was disgusting, despicable, but beautiful at the same time because Jim Larrañaga has a fucking team, and I'm growing my beard to support the U. I'm not shaving till they fucking lose. Let's go, U!
Yes, they were huge for me last night. I was going wild at the Westgate because TCU, I just took the points, Max, and that game was phenomenal. How about Arizona? I mean, saved their life and they win in OT. But I had Miami money line and in the 7.5. And yeah, right from jump start, they just kicked Auburn's ass. We talked about Auburn. Had they kind of fallen off second half of the year? Obviously, they had a lot of talent, but McGusty or Wong, all those guys just got up and down all over them and got it done. Games earlier, let's talk about it. Villanova covered against Ohio State. That was kind of a okay. We got Big Show in the back. A little mic on, brother. You want to hit it? Thanks.
My bad.
It's all good. Villanova took care of Ohio State. Ohio State just couldn't make a shot. Max, the last 5 minutes of that game, and Nova gets the cover there. Michigan State was right with Duke. That game got over and still moved 3 points. I liked it at 144, moved to 147. But Duke pulled away late and covered. And same with Purdue. They just kind of, Texas can't shoot it. That was the problem with that team. They were going to have to hold Purdue to under at least 70 to win that game. I thought they couldn't do it. And Iowa State, just another shutdown, great defense. I can't believe this team is here. We loved them early. I'm just shocked they're playing this well again. Obviously, they still can play defense, but they have problems defensively. I can't wait for the matchup, but they play Miami that we talk about later. And how about Houston, Illinois? Houston just took care of business. Illinois, fraudulent as I thought they were. But that was it. Anything else, Max, where you want to get in today? Let's talk about these games.
Yeah, no, I think that obviously the Bonnies did me fucking proud. Obviously, it's the wrong tournament for them.
They did a great job last night.
They're going to fucking go to Virginia. We're going to fuck them up. We're going to fucking make a Charlottesville fucking ride of their fucking faces. So fuck with the Bonnies.
Bonnies were great for me yesterday as well, and so was Northern Colorado. And I didn't take Northern Colorado today as I was talking to Max in the back. I just didn't make the bet like an idiot, and they are winning right now. I think they were plus 105 because it was just a point and a half. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I saw 110.
It went from an opener of 1 for Colorado to 2 for Asheville. So.
2 for Asheville. Yeah, 1.5. 1. Yeah. All right. Let's get into these next games as you cheer on Northern Colorado. You got a little right here. Train on the tracks. We got a show, brother. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm here.
Middle Tennessee, Boston. Middle
I can
Tennessee.
spell your name correct also.
I know you can. You've always been able to do that though. So I knew right away you were all right, Max. You were there. Middle Tennessee State, Boston U here. at the Ocean Center, Daytona Beach, Florida. Middle Tennessee, 4.5. There's fives, a lot of places. Still a few 4.5s out there, Max, for Middle Tennessee State. This total's 138.5. Do you like Middle State to get it done, or you think Boston U can bark here a little bit as a 5-point dog?
Yeah, I think that Boston U can bark. Probably first half is a good way to evaluate this spot. Obviously, with how cold I've been pregame, Connor, I'm definitely looking to put a lot more of my bankroll on this game live. However, when we talk about this Middle Tennessee team, Josh Jefferson not being in the lineup has completely transformed this offense. There's been so much more emphasis on slowing the game down, walking the ball up the court, not taking advantage of running transition opportunities. And with this kind of defense that we've seen for Middle Tennessee, this is a team that's going to make all your shots on the perimeter difficult. They're going to chase you off the 3-point line. And if you get into foul trouble against them, you're going to be giving up points, because that is how they were able to come back on California Baptist. Very good second half defense, slow tempo game, and they were able to make enough shots. Now, I think that when we look at this offense now, Eli Lawrence and Donovan Sims are front and foremost from a backcourt perspective, but DeAndre Dishman showed and is capable of giving you that freaking outlier type game, taking the team, putting it on his back, scoring with his back to the bucket, and facing up against guys. So I just think that this Middle Tennessee team is going to probably be able to win. I just don't like the 5 points with this BU team, because, Connor, we know that BU obviously comes from my favorite conference, the Patriot League, the conference that I am the self-appointed governor. And when you talk about an experienced team enjoying their last hurrah and playing outside of themselves, this is a BU team that has the pieces. When you can bring Walter White off the bench and he can still be productive and give you boards, give you fucking points, and then you have Matan down low, who is probably the best center in the Patriot League by a Kentucky mile. So I think that as long as BU can get off to a good start and they can score the basketball, then they should be in it. But if they get into a defensive clamp down style kind of game, Middle Tennessee will control it and eventually probably do the same thing that they did to California Baptist.
Yeah, and that was a 6-point game that most people had a push on that in that one. And that was low scoring, of course. So what do you think of this total? You think it could stay under? Obviously, it's come down a few points. You're not getting the best line here, but what do you think still here at 138.5, 139?
I still think that it's a good spot to take an under. I think that we've seen these rims be very good to a lot of teams. However, I do think that we have a little reversal of fortune with this Middle Tennessee team involved.
Yeah. All right, let's get to this one. I thought was excellent, even though the next few games are good too. But Ohio, Abilene Christian. Ohio opens a 2-point favorite. Now it's a 1. Even a few places went down to a pick 'em here, Max. A few I've seen Bet Online, some of these other sites have it down to a pick 'em. This total has moved from 140 all the way up to 145, 145.5. Max. I mean, I get the initial, maybe there'll be points here. Abilene Christians has been this over machine, unlike last year where they were under when they were in the NCAA tournament. They have played to overs, where they just beat Troy too yesterday. What do you like in this one, and what do you like on the total? Has this gotten too high? Do you maybe go under now, or do you still think there's going to be points here? Ohio, Abilene Christian.
For me, I was on the over on the opener, Connor, because I just thought it was too much value with how Abilene has gotten off to first halves in this tournament at this arena. I think that when you can get the kind of outlier performances that you got from Cam Steele yesterday against Troy, that is going to play a big factor tonight. You got to utilize your bench at this point in a tournament like this. And this is a group that we saw take minutes away from the starters in a game that they had control of for wire to wire. to get those guys that extra rest. So the only person that played, I think, more than 30 minutes, I'm just checking the box score right now, was Mekhi Morris. So I think that's acceptable when your lead guard is staying on the floor the most, but I don't think that Abilene's going to have to worry about tired legs. They're just going to have to worry about ball screen defense. And when you play Ohio, Connor, we know that Mark Sears is the best ball screen point guard in the MAC, probably in the freaking north of the country. And I think that going up against some of these undersized guards for Abilene Christian can play a big factor in Ohio's success or freaking downfall in this game. I do think that you're going to have to see some good production come from your starting freaking front court. And if Roderick wants to have an outlier type game, go fucking ahead. I think you need to score points to beat this Abilene team. I think that the game gets into the 70s for both teams. I'm just not willing to tell people on the show right now, go ahead and fucking take that line when you're getting the ass end of it on a 5-point move.
Yeah, I know. This one's so interesting. Abilene's playing so well. I thought Ohio, are they a little bit, because, they need a buzzer beater. Basically, they win the first game against Rice. They kind of were half asleep, Max, that game. Are they going to play now at their full potential? That game, they got by it. Now they get to relax here and be like, hey, we're in this. We might as well keep rolling and playing, because that's what I was worried about in game one, and it happened. But you talked about Sears. Ohio can score. So can Abilene. This total is, if you got it from the opener, I think you were good. But I think Ohio gets in the 70s. I like Ohio. I just don't know how motivated they are. That's what's got me a little bit. I don't know if I'm full board on betting this. I know you like Abilene Christian. I could see both sides in this one. And you talked about Abilene Christian, who basically beat everybody except New Mexico State. And look what they just did in the tournament, Max. So, when they had their loss in their conference tourney, but before that, they had,
And they scored points aside from the 52 that they scored against New Mexico State.
And look what New Mexico State just did, to UConn and to Arkansas. They held them down.
What are you trying to stab me in the gut right now? Calm down on that UConn.
Right in the heart.
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about that.
As they shut down UConn again, and even Arkansas, they lost by 5. But they lost by 5. But and they covered, by the way, which I needed with those 7 points badly. But I like Ohio a little bit here. We will see. I haven't got to it yet. But what we got to get to, Max, before we get to the last 2 games here, is we got to get to the chat. As I say this chat, the best chat in the goddamn game here at Pub Sports Radio. Shout out to everyone here. Some of the guys, I will see you soon. Nasty Nate with some of men. Yeah, we will be there in just a few days in San Antonio. Polly Walnuts, Nate Dogg, Ron Lofton, Real Deal Prime, The Grinder, selling heat pumps all across freaking Canada. Gerald Jones, Rodney Barton, Joey, what's up, my guy? Real Deal Prime, I've already mentioned him. Bill McHugh, Craig, Maxwell Smart, Bonnies will make me proud. We will see. I like how they played yesterday, Max, and they got it done. Oklahoma. I was proud of your Bonnies, and I'm sure you were too, and made a good amount of money on them as well. So, and they had a great second half. Let's talk about their first game real quick with Colorado. That second half, scoring 50 points and just going in there and just taking it. Shout out to the Bonnies. Maybe they can win this thing in the end. We will see, as they got a couple tough ones coming up with Virginia. All right, Max, let's get to these last 2 games here. Let's get to the first one. Florida Gulf Coast, Coastal Carolina here. Coastal Carolina is a 3.5-point favorite basically everywhere now, Max. This total has moved up to 145.5, 146. Do you think Coastal Carolina coasts here? I like Florida Gulf Coast now catching these points. I always like them, they're not at home. That's the problem. I mean, it's not a crazy travel, but what do you think here? Florida Gulf Coast, Coastal Carolina.
Big thing for me is Florida Gulf Coast going to get clamped down by this Coastal Carolina length on the perimeter? When you talk about this Coastal Carolina team. We're talking about one of the top defensive teams in the nation, albeit from the Sun Belt. And when you can lock down the 3-point line, which is definitely going to be something that's important for Florida Gulf Coast, that takes away a lot of flexibility that this offense is going to have. And that therefore puts a lot more onus on Tavion Dunmartin to have a gigantic game. And I think that every time I watch a Florida Gulf Coast game, I'm literally crossing my fingers hoping that he has a big game, because if he doesn't, I don't know how this team wins. I like the pieces on paper. They just have not produced offensively the way I expected. I think that when you look at Coastal Carolina and the combination that you get from Rudy Williams, whether he's starting or coming off the bench, or Vince Cole, the best 3-point shooter in the Sun Belt Conference, you got a really good foundation. We've seen Coastal Carolina put up outputs in the 80s. So at home, they are at their best. I do think that they win this game. I agree with you, Connor. The points is too much. However, I want to see it first half because I want to see what the defensive game plan is against Tavion Dunmartin. Are you going to let him run off makes and misses? Are you going to keep him out of the paint? Are you going to make him a jump shooter? And those are all questions that are very relevant towards what's going to happen overall with this total.
Yeah, Coastal Carolina playing well, but I think this is too many. I'd be on Florida Gulf Coast, but yeah, watching these games and live betting will be huge. And yes, shout out Northern Colorado, gets it done again, 87-84. That game easily goes over as well. And we already said shout out to Wilmington. A couple of teams we bet on heavy, especially late, Max, coming through again, playing great basketball. I bet you everyone thought Drake would beat Wilmington today, especially 7-point favorites. Yep.
I only thought that they were good in the first half and that they would score points. Both were true.
All right, let's get to the last game of today. We got some good ones tomorrow, Max. Some good NIT games.
I think we have good ones tomorrow. Every day. That's why.
Yeah. Oh, I just meant there was a few of these, like Southern Utah, UTEP. I mean, we'll just get in that to tomorrow. I'd like to, we could talk about it today if you want, but I was just saying that. Let's get to the last game of the day. I'm sure you love this one. USC Upstate, South Alabama. It's 8.5. Now there's 9s. Basically, there's 8.5 some places, 9s at others. This total's 141.5. It's moved up a couple points. What do you like here? Upstate and South Alabama.
I get so excited watching South Alabama for such a fucked up kind of reason. I'm like, I want to watch the South Alabama game, guys. Why, Max? Why do you want to watch it? Because I want to fucking see how bad they start the game and how much they have to fucking chase their tail after halftime. And that's what South Alabama has been. At home, on the road, neutral court, you name it, that's what they've been. Now, you get behind this USC Upstate team early, you're definitely playing with fire, because we saw USC Upstate at their best against Appalachian State. Now, we know what we're going to get from Bryce Mozone and Jordan Gainey. We've seen it consistently throughout the season and for our bankrolls. But when you get 24 points from Josh Aldrich, and you also get Dalvin White, who I always hope for good offensive output, but don't necessarily get it. 39 points between the two of them? That's how you fucking win games. That's how you stun teams, and that's how you fucking cover and win for your backers. I think that the game plan has to be the same tonight. You got to get off to a good start. You got to hit threes. You got to be able to force South Alabama to test that depth, to put them in fouling situations, to make your free throws, which you've been able to do very competently. Now, this is a competent defense Dave Dickerson orchestrates. I do think that chasing South Alabama and Charles Manning specifically and Javon Franklin off the 3-point line is key, but keeping them out of the paint and forcing them to take those further jump shots within the arc is what's best for you as a defense. I think that South Alabama is going to be able to find a way to win the game. I just don't trust them to take them at this type of number. And I do think that there is value with South Alabama in the first half on their team total under. We're anticipating that they try and slow the game down. We know that based off their shot attempts and shot possessions per game and possessions per first half. Why not try and take that first half team total under 35.5? I think that South Alabama won't be able to score against USC Upstate, but do they do it in the second half more so than the first? I think in the first they try and clamp down.
Yeah, I like this South Alabama team, Max. You just got to pay the premium here right now. And it's big with Upstate, like you mentioned. They can't get in a hole. They got to hit shots, and if they're not hitting their threes, because they're a team that could be pretty lazy defensively, and South Alabama should be able to do whatever they want. But big number here. And all conference, I like South Alabama as an under team, but of course they could score on Upstate. They could get probably 75 or 80 if they want. But can Upstate hang around with them? We'll see. I'm not
when
so
was
sure.
the last time that South Alabama scored 75 points? Was the game against Arkansas Little Rock.
So, yeah, okay.
And
yeah,
the first halves have been their problem.
Yeah. So we'll see if they can score tonight. And even against that the Louisiana game, the Southeast Louisiana game, they just scored 70. It was 70-68. And Southeast Louisiana got the cover. So
and
interesting.
It was a slow scoring start for South Alabama, Connor.
You want to say it one more time?
Yes, until you acknowledge it.
I acknowledge it. All right, you got it. All right, that is it. We had just 4 games. Man, it was a long weekend for me. So I can't wait for this next week is going to be great. What a bunch of good games, Max, especially yesterday. Last night, there were some good ones. Tight games all day long. I hate watching the blowouts, especially when it gets to this time of year in the tournament games. But first, we'll get a word from our sponsors when we be right back with Best Bets. You know the deal. If you're in San Antonio, go to Southtown 101. We will be there shortly. Come say what up to us this weekend there in San Antonio. And go to mybookie.ag. You know the deal. Transfer the Bitcoin. They'll match you. You put in 1,000, deposit 1,000. They'll match it. And last, go to Manscaped. Get the Lawnmower 4.0. Got everything with it. You can use it in the shower. It has a flashlight on it in the woods. Why you'd be in the woods with your Manscaped and need the flashlight? But if you did, like Nikki Fish Tanks tells me, you got it out there while you're out there. You got a light. 2 for $25. The Pub Rub. Get it. Go to pubsourceradio.com. Support us. Get it. Cop some of our T-shirts and swag while you're there to help support us as well. All right, Max, there's not a ton of games. I don't have a best bet here, but I'm sure you do. Tell me what's your bet today.
Yeah, okay, I do, Connor, I do, and I hope that you have 3 glasses of Guinness tonight. First off, let's talk about something that fucking is definitely appropriate. South Alabama has slow starts in the first half. They do. So you know what? I'm taking the first half team total under 35.5. Fade the fuck out of it. You'll fucking make a shit ton of money, but I'm going with it again. And I don't believe in you, South Alabama. South Carolina Upstate and you guys share a common opponent. Their name is App State. Remember what happened to you when you played App State last time? You better be on your best behavior, motherfuckers. Slow the game down, clamp down. Don't let this game get into the 60s in the first half, and you may have a shot to fucking win. So, South Alabama, first half, team total under 35 and a half. Fuck with your eyes open, special.
He went over it one last time. Just to let us know, I love it. He's sticking with it. He thinks it's going to rock. I like it as well. You know why I can't give this one, Max? Florida Gulf Coast, just their road record is too bad. And Coastal Carolina plays way better at home. Even though I'd lean to Gulf Coast in those points, they've just been horrible ATS on the road. But I'd still lean to them with the points. The other game, which you, I believe, are on the opposite side, is Ohio Abilene Christian. I think Ohio, now they got past Rice. I think they could win tonight in that one. But I haven't bet it yet. It's just a lean of mine. It's just -1. It has dropped. And even pick'ems, like I mentioned. There's a Heritage, there's a pick'em. So that should be a good game. So, yeah, just that's it for me today. Any last words for the chat before we get out of here?
Yeah, listen, I'm not going to shave my face until the U fucking lose, and hopefully it's going to be a while, because I love growing my fucking fur on my face. It scares fucking people in line at the liquor store, and the faster you can get your bottle from the LCBO, the better, because masks are coming off, people. But I'm going to wear mine so the cameras can't tell me or can't tell who I am when I maybe verbally or physically assault someone on the street.
Always excellent words. Educational at times from Maxwell Smart to end the show. Nuke Worker, my guy. Yeah, we're on tomorrow. We're gonna go over the NIT games, what's left, and then we're gonna go every day the Sweet 16 before. Then I will be gone, but I'll be here for Thursday's show. Everything will be good. It will be a normal schedule here for Net Profit. So normal schedule for us. Arthur Mead Jr., what's up, my guy? Great to see you. Nathan Cerna, how you doing? Ron Lofton, Colton's good to see you up in here, my man. Eric, how's it going? Ronnie Barton, Young Speedy, the real. What's up? Nasty Nate, Craig.
Settle down, Arthur Mead. Settle down, Arthur Mead. No one's allowed to make UConn comments anymore, you assholes.
Yeah, it's over. You UConn women? You root for them?
I'll root for them, but I ain't watching that shit.
Yeah, nothing like watching. Nothing against women's basketball, but just
I didn't say that. Maybe I do have something against women's basketball.
Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. But any way you can make money, off it, if you find an angle, I salute you. So I know a lot of good guys that on the can make money on the WNBA, and however you can get it.
Yeah, but they got like 3 girls that can dunk.
Yeah. All right.
Dunking's important, Connor.
Yeah, because the women can't do it. All right, Max, that is it. We will be here tomorrow. Like we said, every day, normal time. They'll be a little bit shorter. We'll be able to go in the games a little bit even more into depth. Some of those, and like we talked about tomorrow, I like that Southern Utah UTEP game. I think is very good. Some other ones. So yeah, tomorrow I like the games. What up, D Mac? What up? Up in the chat. How you doing, my man? All right, Max. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm rooting for your first half under. It will happen because you told me about 4 times today that it's going to. So I hope you cash today, my man. And shout out to everyone else. Check us out tomorrow. Yeah, it was a short show. Probably tomorrow will, but the other ones will be normal once we get rolling. The Sweet 16 games. So we'll break them down real extra long each game, probably, 10, 15 minutes. St. Peter's, yeah, peacocking, man. Peacocking all over the world. All right, we're out of here. He's Great Maxwell Smart. I'm Conor Mack. We're out of here. We be pumping! Peace.